always. And I'm hearing whispers about, it's getting so bad they're going to bring the National Guard in. We should bring the National Guard. I've even heard people, we should bring the National Guard in, right? I say, hey, be careful what you wish for. Be careful, because you don't want to turn this into a police state. We don't want martial law. We don't want every citizen to have a curfew. We just want results, right? Voting is the first step towards getting the results you want. Whether the issues that are important to you are going to be crime or jobs, you got to vote for the candidate that stands for what you believe in, the issues you think are important, and who has the solutions to get the results you want, right? That's called becoming informed. So the question we should be asking ourselves is really, how do I become informed? Right? Unfortunately, you can't do that by watching the news. Because today's news I call infotainment. You have advertisers disguised as reporters, right? It seems like we've developed a mentality on the South Side where if it bleeds, it leads. And if we do get important information, we only get the compressed snippets, right? That's what I've seen. I propose that you guys actually take the time to think about what the issues are. How'd they come about? How does it come about that you have a currency exchange and you have a payday loans, you have a Jackson Hewitt, you have a liquor store, and a beauty supply store in the same building? So basically they want to issue you your income tax check for a fee. If you can't get an income tax check, they'll give you a loan for a fee. If you can't, once you get the loan, they'll cash it for you at the check cashing place for a fee. By the way, before you get out the building, they'll get you drunk for a fee. And then you can get your hair and nails done as well before you leave the building. Not to mention that there's a methadone clinic, down the street that you will see as well. How does it come about that the people that own the businesses in your community don't even look like you? Have you ever thought about how does that happen? The people that work, let's say, okay, I understand you own the business, but not even the employees look like you. Have you thought about that? They're taking resources out of our community back to the suburbs. I see them downtown. I see them downtown all the time. It's got to change. To me, it's got to change. People are coming into our community they're not even helping out the block club associations and community groups. Right? You got to do your homework. Turn these elections into more than just a popularity contest. Don't vote for somebody just because the way they look. Don't vote for somebody just because what their parents did. Don't vote for somebody just because they're a Republican or a Democrat. Those terms they're not monolithic anyway. There's 10 shades of Democrats, 10 shades of Republicans, and 50 shades of the special interest groups that are influencing these guys. Right? You gotta vote for the candidate that's platform is aligned with your personal belief system and what you think is important. We also got to do a better job at letting the politicians know what the issues are. Because I'm convinced a lot of them don't know. They're too busy out here out-promising each other instead of representing us. So it's our job to let them know what the issues are. It's their job to use their office as ways to find out about and explore options that regular citizens can't. That's their job. When you vote, you let them know you're paying attention and making sure they're keeping the constituents' best interests in mind. Not only at the individual level, but at the community level as well. Voting is our way as a community to say, hey, we're watching. Right, we're watching. And voting travels further and speaks louder than complaining. Did you guys realize that your vote can determine the laws that we live by? Right? It's harder to change a law once it's on the books than it is to prevent it from becoming a law. So how do you feel about abortion and the Planned Parenthood clinics being sprinkled throughout the community? Right? How do you feel about the methadone clinic they opened up down the street? I hear it has a sexual offender place in the same building. I haven't seen it for myself, but this is the emails that I get. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about LGBT and gay marriage rights? How do you feel about gun control? Should law-abiding citizens trained in gun safety be able to carry weapons to defend their family? Is that a question? Really? You owe it to yourself to become informed and engaged and let your voice be heard about the laws that can have an impact in your life. Starting with this election, let's exercise our right to be heard. Believe in your own voice. You do not have to be qualified to be involved in politics. You just have to realize that there is strength in numbers. Now, anybody can make a difference, I've realized, but not everybody chooses to do so. And that's because I've seen about 3 different types of people I want to talk about. First type of person is a person that's so busy, they have so much to do, so much to think about, they become disengaged, uninformed, and they don't care what happens. This is the majority of people, by the way. This is the majority. And it's been like this throughout history, too. I know a lot of times the history books like to paint people as revolutionary-minded, but that's not true. The research that I've done on the American Revolution says that 30% of the people that could have fought in that war fought in that war. So you had people that were loyal to the British Crown. You had people that didn't want to be taxed without representation and didn't want to send shipments back to Great Britain. And then you had 70% of the people that just didn't want to be bothered at all. I don't want to go to war. Leave me alone. That's the same thing today. I looked at the last automatic elections in the 6th Ward. You had people that supported Virginia Loud. You had people that supported Roderick Sawyer. And then you had 58% of the registered voters that didn't vote.